Hey there, Helena Das here, and I am here with my little Kenzie, and we are excited to be bringing you the Money Mondays episode for October 28th, 2019. So today we have a Scorpio-new-moon, and I just want to take a moment to just touch on that because if you've been following me for a while, you know I like to tune into the moon and the stars. And so with the Scorpio-new-moon, what I want you to know is, in a nutshell, this is actually the cosmic invitation for you to kind of slow down, reflect, make some quiet time, go within. It's the time of darkness, right? Because the full moon has all the light and the new moon has the darkness. So it's the time now to be planting the seeds also for your next cycle, seeds of intention, and again to do some of that inner work. Now, because Scorpio is ruled by the Lord of the underworld, the power planet Pluto, the main theme of a Scorpio is that of really taking that plunge, doing that deep dive, and reclaiming your personal power, and then rising from the ashes, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to leave you with that in a nutshell. Today's topic for this episode is I want to say why, and this may be a little controversial, but I'm really strongly wanting to talk about it. Why the mindset movement is missing the boat is what I think I am being guided to call it. And, I really have to say that it makes me nuts because these days, everywhere I look, I just see, mindset for this, mindset for that, mindset is the number one most important thing. And, I agree, it is an important piece of the puzzle. Yes, hands down, I agree with that 100%. But it is not the only, and it is not the main piece of the puzzle. And as someone who, again, you may or may not have heard my story, but as someone who is a sensitive soul, who is very sensitive and empathic, and has really been on this journey a long time, doing lots of type of work on myself, and especially in the arena of healing past wounding or trauma, which is the area that I feel was ultimately, in hindsight looking back, the most important pieces that were needed in order to fully heal and transform. And so when we're just coming from the mind, when we're just doing this mind work, what is driving me crazy is we're disconnecting from the neck down. We're disconnecting from our emotions and our feelings and our physical sensations. And all of those are actually the biggest clues as to what's going on in your subconscious. So I'd like to give you an example. If you are trying to do like positive thinking or say meditation, and you're visualizing, and you can't, first of all, feel like, imagine and feel what it would like to be whatever that thing is that you're visualizing, right? You can't feel it in your body, and or you can't believe it, you don't think it's possible, okay? Those are some really big clues to pay attention to, in the sense that you can do all the mindset work in the world. And again, I'm speaking from personal experience. You can do all that in the world, but it's not going to work. If all of you is in alignment and you have, done the work, and your emotions are on board and you feel safe, when you've got that solid foundation, then the mindset for me is going to, it's going to make you soar, okay? But I've heard this expression once a long time ago, I don't even remember where, but it was a while ago, that, it was like taking a can of whipped cream and spraying it over a pile of poop. And this is what I'm talking about. So yeah, maybe there are a lot of people who are having great success with that, and maybe they don't have, maybe they already did the work and they're in alignment, and or, like I will say, before my spiritual awakening and journey, I was very, very much, in my head and even out of. But, you can be very in your head and your mental body and masculine driven, right? Which is what we're taught in society. And you can get shit done. Like, you can manifest and you can accomplish things. But it's not sustainable in the long run. And my personal experience, I found that ultimately, as I was healing and discovering those lost parts of myself, it's like it's no longer in alignment. Like, it wasn't in alignment. It wasn't authentic, right? And so for me, now when I hear all this mindset stuff, it makes me nuts, because I know there was a period where I was doing it like really, really, when The Secret came out, whatever, I was trying to do all of this mindset stuff and reading all of these positive thinking and, just doing all of that. And it wasn't working, and I didn't feel it in my body or in my heart or in my emotions. And that's where, again, that is the biggest clue and key that there are other layers that need to be addressed, other energy centers. And when we can get in full alignment with our hearts, with our head, with our bodies, with our thoughts, feelings, emotions, and then actions and behaviors, right? Then that's when the magic unfolds. Then that's when we can manifest or create or attract, our desires. And so I am really, really excited to be sharing with you. Obviously, I can go do so much here, but I have, if this is resonating with you and you're someone who feels like you've done that, or maybe you've this is something that used to happen to me too. Like, I would do all these meditations and they'd tell you to grow all these roots into the earth, and I couldn't feel it. I didn't feel it, Anyway, so if you can relate to any of this, I want you to know, first of all, I have your back, and I want to invite you to a special event where I'm going to go deeper on this topic, where I am going to share some really magical and powerful tools from some sacred gifts from horse. Those of you who have been in my world, you know that the medicine of the horse has been a really sacred part of my healing journey. And I am going to help you with what I am calling emotional empowerment, okay? Emotional, taking a stand for the heart, taking a stand for our emotions, okay? Because that mindset piece, as I said, is really icing on the cake, if you will. And I just don't feel like it's standing alone is the way to go. That's my personal and humble opinion, okay? So if you are a sensitive, empathic, creative soul, and you are ready to go to the next level, if you are ready to really learn some tools and practices and have the shifts and insights that are going to help you to really deepen your mind-body connection, as well as give you the keys to integrating and healing those past wounds and trauma, if that applies to you, which I often, for me, is the number one block that I see in those that I've worked with, and has been, in my case as well. And so that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this work. Then I hope that you will join me for what I am calling Dark Horse Wisdom, Emotional Empowerment During Uncertain Times. And again, all the information is below, but I'm going to be sharing, the top 3 magical sacred gifts from Horse that are going to assist you in having that shift and, really understanding why it's so important to connect with, the part of our body from the neck down, okay? And so much more. I'll also be talking about a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, and because we're in the Northern Hemisphere, I feel very fitting, especially with this Scorpio-new-moon, and that is the wisdom of the dark horse. And so, that's a very sacred and special topic that I'll be bringing in, and you can learn more about that below. So I'm going to weave that all together with my goal of, again, empowering you to really take your power back, ultimately, so that you can thrive as a sensitive soul on this planet and have the tools and the practices and, you know, ignite your superpowers because you're needed on this planet, so that you can really more fully embody and step into that next level of that next level, higher version of your best self, and really start taking your impact to the next level in terms of helping others. But it all starts with us, right? So I hope that that resonates. And before I let you go, hopefully this is not like a spoiler alert, but I have a super, super special announcement that I'm going to be making on the call. And I want to preface it by saying that if you don't have a horse, first of all, you don't have to have one. It's not a requirement to implement and learn from the wisdom of the golden nuggets that I'm going to be sharing on this Zoom Inar live video interactive training. But if you are interested in exploring the possibility of actually doing some live work with a horse, with me, I have a very special and rare, a limited opportunity that I'm going to be sharing more about on the call as well. So you really want to be there live if that has piqued your curiosity. And so I am going to leave this by saying my new favorite word, espavo, which, as I understand it, is an ancient Atlantean word that means thank you for taking your power back. So espavo and namaste with my unbridled love. I love you, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now.